What if I told you there was a system that can find stocks before they run 100%, before it hits the top gainers list, and before everyone and their grandma is talking about it? That's exactly what we're diving in today. I'm going to show you step by step how I spot penny stock runners like this days before they break out using nothing but a website called Finviz. And when I say step by step, I mean I'm going to walk you through my exact scanner settings, how I read the charts, how I confirm a setup, and I'll even show you real examples of stocks that I found before they exploded. So if you ever sat there watching a stock go parabolic thinking, man, if I only saw this earlier, stick with me because after today, you'll know exactly how to find them first. Before we even touch the scanner, you need to understand why penny stocks can do this in the first place. These aren't your big blue chip companies like Apple, Tesla. Penny stocks are usually small market cap companies, sometimes 50 million or less, with a low share price and in many cases a low float. Low float just means that there aren't that many shares available to trade, and here's why that matters. The fewer shares out there, the easier it is for buying pressure to push the price higher. Imagine a thin sponge. It doesn't take much water to soak it. Same with low float stocks. It doesn't take much volume to move them 20%, 50%, even 100% in a day. But here's the thing most people miss. These big moves don't just happen out of nowhere. If you look closely, the setup starts forming days before. The volume begins ticking up, the stock starts pressing against a resistance level, and the right piece of news acts like gasoline on a fire. So our entire strategy is built around recognizing that setup early before the breakout candle. And that's exactly what Finviz can help us do. Let's quickly talk about what's happening in the minds of traders before a breakout. A breakout is usually preceded by consolidation. The stock is moving sideways, building a base. Think of it like a spring being compressed. The more it consolidates near a key level, the more powerful the breakout tends to be. And then there's the catalyst. This could be a press release, an earnings announcement, sector news, or even just momentum from similar stocks running. The technical setup attracts smart traders early, and when the catalyst hits, it creates a rush of buyers. That's when you see those monster green candles. If you only start watching after the breakout, you're already chasing. And chasing is where most people lose money. Our edge comes from spotting the compression phase early before the volume spike. And that's where Finviz becomes our best friend. All right, so you guys can see Finviz on my screen. This is where the magic happens. First, we're going to set the price filter to under $5. This focuses our scan on true penny stocks. If you want to cast out a slightly wider net, you can bump this to $10, but I personally prefer the under $5 range because that's where the most explosive percentage moves tend to happen. Next, we're going to set the average volume to over 500,000. This ensures we're looking at stocks that already have some trading activity. We don't want to be stuck in a stock that barely trades. Liquidity is key. Now, Finviz doesn't give us a direct float filter, so we can use market cap as that alternative. Set that to under 300 million. This weeds out bigger companies and keeps us focused on smaller, more volatile plays. After that, set relative volume to over 1.5. Relative volume tells us how much more active a stock is today compared to its average. Over 1.5 means already 50% more volume than usual. That's early activity we want to see. Now, this really depends on you for this section. For underperformance, you can set it to week up 10% plus. This finds stocks that are already showing some strength but haven't gone parabolic yet. We're looking for early momentum without the big breakout happening yet. Once you hit enter, Finviz will give you a list of stocks that match your filters. This is where we separate the noise from the golden stocks. For me personally, I like to sort by relative volume first. High relative volume is often the smoke before the fire. Then I shift through each ticker to look at the daily chart. So here's what I'm looking for. First, a clear consolidation base. The stock should be trading sideways or slowly creeping up higher. You then have second, a clean breakout level, a price point where if the stock breaks above, there's very little resistance above it. And then third, multiple green days, but still under that breakout level. This tells me buyers are quietly stepping in without triggering FOMO yet. If a stock is already up 30 to 40% this week, but hasn't yet broke its key level, it's a prime breakout candidate for the next few days. Now, before you get too excited, we need to verify the flow and change for potential catalysts. You can use things like Float Checker or Yahoo Finance for float data. Ideally, we want under 20 million shares available. The lower, the better is how I view it. That's where you get those really violent squeezes. Next, always check the news. Is there upcoming earnings date? Has there been a recent press release? Is the sector hot right now? Sometimes even rumors or social media buzz you see all over Twitter can be enough to tip the scales. So, how do you actually enter these plays? You have two main options. Option one, I call it the anticipation entry. This is where you buy just before the breakout level, betting that the catalyst or volume will hit soon. The risk is that it may take a couple more days or it might be a fake out. Option two is what I call the confirmation entry. This is where you wait for the breakout candle with strong volume, then enter on the retest of the breakout level. This is safer because sometimes you enter at a slightly higher price. And here's what most traders go wrong. They're reacting to the market instead of preparing for it. They see a stock already up 50% on Twitter, they FOMO in, and by the time they buy, the early movers are already selling into their orders. That's not trading, that's being someone's exit liquidity. The real edge in trading penny stocks, runners, is flipping the script. You want to be the one buying while it's still quiet, while the chart is still coiling, and while the volume is just starting to sneak in. That's when the risk is low and the reward potential is massive. And here's the truth, the signs are always there if you know where to look. Once you master spotting those signs, whether it's a multi-day consolidation, a low float setup with creeping volume, or a sector rotation heating up, you stop playing catch up and start setting the trap. When the breakout hits, you're already in position and everyone else is chasing your move. Either way, always use a stop loss. These plays can dump just as quickly as they can run. Risk management is what keeps you in the game long enough to catch the big winners. So let me walk you guys through a real example from last month. This stock showed up on my FinViz scan on Monday, price under $3, relative volume at 2.0, market cap under 150 million, and a perfect flag forming just under resistance. The float, I believe it was 12 million shares at that time. I don't believe that there was news yet as well. On Tuesday, volume starting to tick up, and then boom, the stock broke out at the open, ran 100% by the afternoon. That's the power of spotting these setups days ahead. You're not reacting, you're simply preparing. So now you got my exact FinViz filters. You know how to read the chart setups, how to confirm float, check news, and time your entries. If you put this into practice, you're gonna start spotting penny stock runners before the breakout, not after. If you found value in this video, hit that like button. It helps more traders find this content. And if you want my personal watch list every morning with my exact stocks I'm watching for 50% or 100% moves, the link to join my community is in the description. So go set up those filters tonight, run the scan, and see what you find. Because the next 100% runner, it's already out there. You just have to know where to look. I'll see you guys in the next video.